Hey guys, this is Bharat and welcome to Bharat's Kitchen with Cauliflower Manchurian, which is also known as Gobi Manchurian. This is a very simple Indo-Chinese recipe with a little bit of tricks here and there. So alright, let's begin with it. So first we're gonna cut our cauliflower or gobi into florets. So basically there are three sizes of florets: big, medium and small. Now these different sizes will greatly affect the end result of crispiness. Even if you might follow all the steps that I've told you, but in the end your result might not be as crispy as mine. I know it seems quite vague, but it is actually true. But before we jump to conclusions, first I'd like to show you a simple experiment that I did. So I basically coated and fried all the different sizes of florets together, and if you hear carefully, you might get what I'm trying to say. Now according to me, the most crispiest was the smallest floret. But the question is, why? So one of the reasons is the core ingredient to the coating ratio. Like if you compare a big and a medium sized floret, you can clearly see the bigger floret has a more softer core ingredient than the coating as compared to the medium sized floret. Another logical reason can also be that any big sized floret will always retain more moisture, and moisture is the enemy of crispiness. So in my opinion, the best size to go for is the smallest floret because it has a good amount of crispy coating and some amount of that soft core ingredient. Alright, back to the recipe from my boring and long explanations. So to make the florets more tender, we're gonna boil them, and the most important thing here is that you need to add some salt in the water. Now salt will help cauliflower to become more tender and will also help in balancing flavor in each and every bite. So after 5 minutes, we're gonna strain these florets and keep them in the cold running water, which will stop the cooking process. Now when the cauliflower has completely drained, we're gonna add some ginger garlic paste, some black pepper and some salt. Finally, I'm gonna add some cornstarch and then just mix everything together. Okay, at this point we're gonna transfer our coated florets in a refrigerator for about 30 minutes. And in the meanwhile, I'm gonna prepare the stuff to make my Gobi Manchurian sauce. So we're gonna roughly chop some bell pepper, also known as capsicum, some spring onions, also known as scallions, and finally we're gonna finely chop some ginger and some garlic. Alright, now to make the batter to coat our florets, we're gonna take some all-purpose flour, some cornstarch, some oil and some salt. Make sure you mix the oil thoroughly with the flour and then add some ice cold water. And finally, just whisk everything together and incorporate some air in the batter. Okay, it's time to take the florets out of the refrigerator, and if you look closely, you'll notice that each and every floret is coated with salt and black pepper. So just dump in all the florets in the batter and make sure each floret is coated properly. Alright. Now to achieve a super crunchy floret, we need to fry the cauliflower twice. First on a low heat at 120 degrees centigrade or 250 degrees Fahrenheit for about 5 to 7 minutes. And after the first fry, your floret should look something like this. Now for the second frying, we're gonna turn the heat to about 170 degrees centigrade or 340 degrees Fahrenheit. And fry them for about 3 to 4 minutes, basically on a very high heat. Now if you're wondering why have I double fried the florets, well, I'll give you the long answer on the website, but in short, it's basically to eliminate most of the steam and to get a more crispier result. So just fry them until they are golden brown or until they look something like this. Now before we begin cooking the sauce, first we need to make the sauce mix. So we're gonna take some water and to that add some cornstarch, some soy sauce, some SAMBAL. Now the link to alternatives of SAMBAL is in the description bar down below, so please don't worry. Then we're gonna add some hoisin sauce, and if you don't have hoisin sauce then you can skip it. And finally, the most crucial sauce, which is Szechuan sauce. And your sauce mix is ready. Okay, so I'm gonna keep my wok on very high flame. You can also go for a deep open mouth utensil if you don't have a wok. And then add some oil, our chopped ginger garlic, our chopped spring onions, and we're gonna cook them for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then add chopped bell pepper and again cook for 2 to 3 minutes. Also keep stirring as the flame is very high. At this point, I'm gonna add my sauce mix and let it come to a boil. So by the time the sauce mix starts to boil, quickly add some salt, some MSG, which is totally optional, some white pepper powder, and please do not replace it with black pepper powder. And then we're gonna add some sugar, which will balance all the flavors. Finally, when you achieve this amazing color, add some vinegar and let the sauce reduce till half. And then you're done. Okay, now you can assemble the sauce and the florets by 2 methods. First is our conventional method. Just turn the flame off and let it rest for 5 minutes. And actually what happens is the sauce cools down and it starts to become more thick and reduces. Now this will help the florets to stay crispy for much longer time, as the moisture content or the liquidiness of the sauce will not be there. Another method that I've learned recently is that you can assemble the florets and the sauce in your serving bowl. Just drizzle a little bit of sauce and you can sprinkle some toasted sesame seeds and some spring onion greens on top and just dive in. So there you go guys, how to make Gobi Manchurian or Cauliflower Manchurian. If you liked the video, do give it a thumbs up. For updates and queries, you can like me on Facebook. Until then, I'll see you all next time.